And the whole thing with what Joe started saying with the policing of the internet, I don't think you're actually they can't do that because it is a worldwide web, which means that
it's not ran by the government though. It's not ran by the government, so that's the reason why you.
Yeah, but governments, if they wanted, could block access. So
China, North Korea, things like that. Yeah.
And what if the countries come together, heads of countries, and say, let's do some sort of like UN police?
Yeah, like Interpol or something.
And, I'm just asking. I personally don't think it should, but
you know what? I don't think it should have. I think like people, you got to take responsibility for your own actions and your family. But I could see something like that happening. And then I can also see then the corruption that happens with that. So that's the problem. When you create an agency or something like that, then that's going to become corrupt because money's the rule. Cash rules everything around me. So
you're absolutely correct because there is no block on it, and you still have dark web, right?
Yeah.
So just imagine if we what's the point of having a dark web if it's not police?
Right. And then and then you basically given the power to that agency to now control who goes into this dark web and what. I can get you in there, but you got to hit me off on my in Bitcoin. Pay me in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
Oh man. So, FYI, today was a complete bust because I was not recording. So we lost the Instagram and we lost this pretty much whole episode.
It says recording at the top.
Now I started doing it about just before Ro got up to use the bathroom because I figure we can we'll just use it whatever we do for promo.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
I was on today, man.
We all were.
Yeah.
Were.
Fuck, we got serious there. We went from,
Well, you're off tomorrow, right, Ev?
I want to do this again. I need to recover emotionally.
What happened?
Listening to the Woken podcast.
Well, why don't you recap? Let's tell our viewers and listeners what happened, Joe.
Okay, so this is what happened. We did our normal live as per usual before we started 8 o'clock, and
8 o'clock on the dot.
8 o'clock. We had a couple technical difficulties, and something happened towards shutting it down, and Ev accidentally clicked on some Big Booty Bitches live, and it didn't save. And we were I wouldn't say 3 sheets to the win. I'd say maybe about 1.5 to 2 sheets to the win when we started this, and we went right into it, did our normal intro, had a fucking amazing hour of just funny banter, conversation, ideas, real thoughtful shit, just off the wall shit. And I realized that we weren't recording. So then about 5 minutes ago or less, Roger got up to use the bathroom, and just before that I realized, I gotta hit record. So we are starting over, and here we are.
But I did ask, are we ready to go? I mean, I did say
you did, and we did the intro, we
did the clap and all that,
we did all that good stuff.
Basically we had great conversation,
but no good stuff though.
Can we recap it? I don't feel like talking about it.
Yeah. So
I can't say what we were. The topic has been about internet and rules and spoken and unspoken rules, and rules as a couple, rules as a single man,
right,
or person. What that's what we were talking about and alluding to them. And probably where you guys get in is where we got serious, and we're talking about policing the internet and having children and being involved in their lives and all that. So
hug your kids. At the end of the day, hug your kids.
Yeah.
So So since we were talking about internet and all that, so one of the things was about having, can you, are you allowed to follow certain people? I had another question, and this will go. So Ro mentioned about, he's like, it should be fine as long as you're not in someone's DM. As long as you're not direct messaging, somebody that you follow and trying to, basically go outside the bounds of your relationship, it should be fine. And I think we will all kind of agree with that. But with that being said, if you are sliding in the DMs, what are your best and your worst pickup lines? For us married men, it's going to be hypothetical, but in Ro, it's something you use.
I mean, Ro's pretty witty with his like profile infos and things like that. So I mean, we spoke one time about one of the dating apps, and you said you were like a black unicorn or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So I figured you would. Yeah. Good.
When I did have that up, my Bumble, I put like anyway. But yeah, when I did have Bumble up, I put like I'm a black man with no tattoos, have a job, great uncle, no kids, and I'm a black unicorn, and I can read well. And it was funny because you'd be surprised how many
that completely sounds like it was written by a racist white guy. But
and then my picture is like this, and I have like a bow on. I'm like, and then one is me with my big furry earmuffs, and I have a Christmas jacket on. I'm like, and then it's just so.
How did you do? Because if I was a woman, I would be like, oh, that's a fake account.
No. So here's the thing, people. A lot of ladies like loved my energy, like, oh my God. But then I always got single moms with like, they had one kid and so just trying, and one maybe two, trying to figure it out. I got a lot of teachers, so people that like me, single moms, doesn't matter what color, teachers, doesn't matter what color, lawyers, which is really weird. So I get teachers, lawyers, and single moms. That was my big, that's my group. That's my demographic.
Nice.
Can I add a disclaimer?
Those sound like categories on Pornhub.
Yeah, but I wanted to say teachers are freaks. Can you? I mean, I'm talking about.
Can I attest to that?
Yeah. Well, we used to meet when I used to go out, before my wife, and even sometimes after, and you meet the teachers, and they were always like the wildest. The wildest party.
They party.
That's what I mean. Like that.
I mean, you still got to tap. You can't just go. You got to tap.
Yeah.
But they're great. They're able to turn it on and off. Like, what I mean? Like,
I got you.
Thank you, Joe. You got me, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Can't just go up in there. You gotta say hello.
Watch our past episodes for a little context.
Hello. Anyway, Charlie didn't see that episode. I don't think he saw that. He was in that. He was in that episode, no?
No, I got the recap of that episode.
Oh, you get
You got in trouble for that one.
He wasn't even on that episode.
Yeah, I wasn't on that episode. Sure. Don't put me in episodes I wasn't in. I wouldn't.
Don't mention my name.
Oh, Charlie, since you weren't on the episode, like, what animal would you take down?
I think we did this, right?
Well, I said it wouldn't be an alligator because he automatically thought it would be an alligator because I live out here with the alligators.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What animal will I take down? Can it be a domestic animal?
Sure.
Because I control the dogs in my house. They know better.
All right.
No, wild.
Does it have to be a wild?
Yeah, it's got to be a wild animal. Yeah, like a.
I accept it. Listen,
Wow.
Listen. Dolphins are wild to me,
I know,
but I gotta check them every now and then.
I'm gonna go with a koala bear.
Flipper, protect your neck,
bear.
bro.
Nice.
Flipper, protect your neck, bro. I got you. Your cousin too. I don't care. Bring it, son.
So he said.
Sorry.
What did a koala do to you? They're so sweet and cuddly. He would just be trying to hug you, and you're gonna fight him off.
Exactly. That's why I.
No. They had to be at a size where they could actually hurt you.
Says the guy who fought a turtle.
No, a koala bear is bigger than me. Did you hear? I was the little one.
I would
You
say
ain't that little.
I would listen. If you could fight a sloth, he could fight a koala. I think they're pretty close in size.
No, but a sloth has the claws, so if they catch you.
Koalas have claws. That's how they stay.
No, but not like sloths.
You're sleeping on koalas.
You are.
They're qualified.
Ooh, maybe we should battle. Maybe we should do another show. If our animals who we battled, they fought like a battle royal. We'll talk about that later. Yeah. Sorry, we're getting off the context here. Apologize. It's because someone didn't press record earlier. This is going great. Listen. God damn it.
Good stuff. This is prime.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be really good. I'm gonna love the show. It's gonna be great.
So what's your pickup lines? What's your go-to? Let's go with your first. What was your go-to, and then maybe we'll go to like what's the worst you've ever heard.
I just sent him a picture of my penis. Just kidding.
I never understood dudes that did that.
Seriously,
like,
how do you lead with that?
I know so many dudes. Like, I'm like, did you even hit it? Nah, man. It's like, what made you think that she would like it?
Yeah.
And my thing is flabbergasted at the amount of dick pics that women receive.
Right. And what do they do when they send it? Are they just like, yeah. You don't like that. Like, I don't.
I should be getting a phone call any minute.
You know what I'm saying? Where we going out, girl?
I'm already calling in. Hey, I'm not gonna be able to come to work tonight.
Play, you know what I'm saying? All night long. King, what is Mike Lowry? King Ding-a-ling.
That's the problem with the internet and all this new technology. It took personality out of it.
It took it out.
Yeah, look.
Yeah.
Just look.
Or did it take? Did it take personality out of it? Because I mean, you can put a lot of personality into a D pic.
Yeah.
Put a hat on it.
Oh,
maybe that's it. Maybe.
So hold on. I knew girls that were telling. Oh, I should do this on the show. I should do it after hours in a row about women's stories with getting dick pics. But one girl told me, J-Ho, she was like, a dude put his remote controller next to his penis, so you had an idea of like what he's really working.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? And then some girls are like, listen, I don't want that in me. That's just too. I'm like, really? I was like, all right. So there's so many different things we don't know as men.
Well, now you gotta go clean your remote.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I was like,
I don't touch any remotes, by the way. If any friend I ever go over their house,
that,
as long as you guys are nasty fuckers, I'm not touching any remotes. You want to play a video game? No. You want to mic? No. Wipe it down, sterilize, spray the shit. You guys are nasty fuckers.
I'm carrying gloves now.
Maybe, and maybe there's a misunderstanding. Maybe women don't understand how much effort goes into a dick pic. There's a lot of primming and prepping, and then getting the angles right, and like that other guy.
Should they? You're saying that they should appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
It's
again. Please send your hate mail to Evan at Woken Up Woke. You should actually make the account Evan at Woken Up Woke.
It's like it's a thing in our DNA. It's like when the peacock, when it's like they're showing their feathers when they're in heat.
Do it again, Joe. They're
like, they're putting on a show. It's the same thing. It's like, you know what I'm saying? At least that's what I'm assuming.
So I had a joke. Right. So when I'm on the train, I made a joke about this, a stand-up joke, and the room went kind of weird. But I was like, it's funny when you're on the subway, right? And you're just like chilling, it's packed with people. And sometimes you get someone's internet on your phone, you can send somebody a picture. And so I always think it's hilarious when you send like an Asian penis to just a random person who's ever there, and just wait for them just to look up. And because they'll never know it's you. And it's just hysterical. Like they're gonna be like, you're just like dying laughing.
Stop Asian hate again.
Please.
But more important, it's not. What are you doing with the Asian penis?
It's stock.
That's the next question they ask. That's the next question they ask.
Yeah.
I like to mix it up, bro.
Yeah. I always wonder that about friends that send you weird shit. It's like you had to look for this. You had to screenshot that.
At some point, you had no. Someone sent me, I think, an Asian penis in a pic, and I was like, why? And then I was like, oh, this would be hysterical because I think I meant to send something to someone else, and it went to somebody else in a group thing, and I was like, oh, imagine I'm on the train and you just sent this out, it's packed, and then someone looked up at you like, what the, and they have no clue, like no clue, because there's not an Asian person on the train at all. You're just like, who the fuck?
And the audience didn't find that funny.
Yeah, it's again.
Well, they were all Asian, so it was at a comedy club in Chinatown.
Boom. All right, that's when the drum comes in, Joe. That's when the damn Joe, fucking shit. Damn it!
There you go.
I gotta get a drum set here too now.
Yeah.
This is an actual drum
You should just
set.
get real drums.
Hey, Robbie, kick it.
Knocking your drink over.
Right?
There you go. You talked about goals for the show. That's one of the goals. I want to have Robbie as our house band. You know, with the guitar and the drum machine.
In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Robbie, yeah. The one-man band.
He could do it all. I wanted, so one side thing, then we can move on. I have two other nephews that one plays the trumpet and one plays the drums. And Robbie plays like four instruments. I want to do 3 songs with them. And I want to have us, I got to come up with a name for our band, but I'm going to be the lead singer. I'm going to stay within my vocals, just not nothing crazy, but I want us to have 3 songs and we only play once a year and just go crazy and just fucking hit. Because Robbie's played with some like legit band, like, you know, and these kids can play. They got into top colleges for their music talent. So I'm the only one who has no skill set. So, you know, I think it'll be great. Just drown me out on this one right here when I go. Blah, 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 blah.
It'll be like Jack Black.
Yep. There you go.
Jack Black's talented.
He is.
Come on, man.
He is. Well, I meant more that's what I meant. More the character he played, not necessarily.
Yes. All right. Apologize to Jack Black. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of which, and not to go off topic, but this is something I was going to bring up to the crew. I want to do a Woken Up Woke album. It'll be a comedy album, but I want to do songs. But I want to do we list a whole bunch of different genres of song, and then we record songs in different genres. So we'll have like, you know, a trap song, a country song, you know, a rock song, a slow jam thing. And that would be the album, like 8 different.
I'm with it.
You know,
we're doing it all in the 1 week that Charlie and Joe will be in Manhattan, in New York City. We're gonna do it all.
We're gonna have to do it. I'll bring it to Vegas, baby. I'll bring the laptop to Vegas. I should have it by then, and can record. But actually, Joe knows we can record nowadays. You know, I can start the sessions. He can record his part out there. You can.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
And even if we come prepared with the music, then it's just a matter of laying down the vocals, and then we can just put it all together afterwards. But
I'm more about the visual.
Well, that's when you record. We'll do the videos when we get together.
That's what I'm worried. I don't give a shit about vocals. I'm really about the visual.
I can't wait to do a "We Are the World" type song.
That's that'd be great.
See, that's what we got to do. We should do that right now.
One like doing a line up table. There's a choice to make it.
Let's do that right now. Let's
behind the scenes. No. Hear me out. Behind the scenes of We Are the World.
Yeah, we could show how Prince didn't want to do it because he hated the fucking song.
We all pick a character that we think we can do well.
The corner.
I can't wait to see Evan's characters, but we all pick a character we think we can do well. Everybody's gonna sound like Al Pacino. It's gonna be great. But pick a character we can do well, and then we do
world.
Hooah.
World.
Charlie, you're very sober in this. You're lacking the
Yeah. I told you guys I took my vaccine today, so
you're just like chilling.
Yeah.
You just don't want to fall asleep. You're scared to fall asleep.
Shut up.
Isn't that the worst though?
When
he's like, I'll do the show all night. You know what I mean, you guys want to do the show all night, it's fine. Whatever you want to do. I'll be up. I mean, when I took the first shot, I swear to God, I went in there a couple of drinks in, and I was like, I can't fall asleep because I feared like I would just fall asleep and never wake up again.
Are you drank alcohol before?
Yeah, because it was at 1:30 in the morning, so I had a couple of drinks. Nothing crazy.
You
I don't
sure you
think
got the
yours
right
works.
shot?
I'm
Where did
confused.
you go?
What time did you go?
Where did
1:30
you go?
1:30 a.m. City Hall. I got my shot at 1:30 a.m. at City Hall, and I went in there.
It was like a cardboard sign, like outside some alley. Vaccines here, come in.
I yelled at the lady that ran the
bend
place
over.
because there was no sign. So when you look at the place, it shows you this City Hall building. I used to work in Tribeca, so I was like, I know this building. I was like, that's not the building. No one knows anything. And it's like one of the building, they, half the people ripped down the signs. You couldn't make it. I was like, why don't you have at least your staff that works all at City Hall, like all the security, like, no, like, oh yeah, you're going for this. Like security looked at me like I was crazy. It was like, there's shots around here? I was like,
Yeah.
like, really?
Again, did you go to the right place?
Yeah. And so I went in, and the only thing that saved me is my mask, right? Because you can't, because I'll tell you right now, if I was having a conversation, you're like, all right, get him out right now. But I had the mask on, gave me the shot, I had a little fun. And then they said, you got to sit in the chair for like 15 minutes. And the 15 minutes, I was paranoid. I was like, I can't fall asleep. And I was like, so like, at that point, I was like, oh, 15. And I was like, trying to like, hey, what's up? Just looking at stuff and just trying to keep. So I get what you're doing, Charlie. And mentally, the part of you like, I don't want to fall asleep. I don't want to fall asleep. But you'll be fine.
Just gotta have a couple drinks. Apparently, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Second one I heard, that's the mofo.
Well, he got the Johnson and Johnson.
I got the Johnson and Johnson.
One.
You got the one, so that's it.
Yeah, the lady looked at me like, because I'm a dad, so I always throw out the stupid dad joke, and my wife almost slapped me. I said before she gave me the shot, you know how they rub with alcohol and then they put the needle in you? I said, you're not going to put baby powder on it first and then put the needle in me? She said, what? I said, Johnson and Johnson, baby powder. I just tried to lighten the mood.
She administered
it.
Like
yeah, she was like, yeah. You are a dad. That's great. You know what? You are straight up a dad, man. Congratulations. I
get away with those stupid jokes now.
That's great. You are sticking with it.
Yep.
I think isn't that like where dad jokes come from? Because just kids are easy to make laugh. So your level of humor.
Oh, that's another thing on Bumble. It's like love dad jokes. Like one of the girls will put like, I love dad jokes. Love dad jokes. What? I don't even know. Like, big fan of dad jokes. If you have dad jokes, I'm all in. I'm like, what?
That's Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer made a career. Jerry Seinfeld, excuse me, made a career on dad.
Yeah, jokes. Jerry Springer made a career on something else.
So you said Jerry Springer. I knew exactly what you're talking about. I'm thinking Seinfeld.
But also Jerry Springer didn't also make a career on dad jokes, but different types.
Is killing it.
More like jokes on the dad.
Yeah. You are the father.
No, that's Maury.
No, but he still did the father
but he did. Yeah. Oh, he did everything.
He was original.
He was the original messy show.
Yeah, he was the one where they would come out and say, "I'm a man," and he's been dating this woman for like 3 years.
He did do that, which I still is crazy to me.
Those are great.
Because some of them didn't even have an operation. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
really? They were just real shifty.
Like, no. Really?
Was
never
Jerry Springer first?
Like the thing down there, like
What's that, Charlie?
Was Jerry Springer first? Because I remember another dude that had Richard Day show.
No, you think Richard Day.
You had Richard Day.
Shut up. And then Phil Donahue.
Phil Donahue. What's his name too? Geraldo, though, he was a little messy too back in the days.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. That was the fight, the KKK and everybody.
Yeah, that was classic when
he got punched in the nose. He's dripping blood
with a chair.
This is crazy.
Yeah, that was a classic.
You said, because when I would stay home from school, because that's the time that those morning shows.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about those morning talk shows were the commercials in between.
Oh,
the GED commercials.
You knew who they were targeting. Right.
Yeah. Are you injured?
Are you injured?
Workman's comp.
What was the lawyers?
188. 888-888-888.
No. One of them died in the plane crash.
Salino and Barnes.
Salino and Barnes. They were going since back in the day.
Injury
Salino and Barnes
attorneys,
were like
100, 888.
888. I kept adding eights. Is that enough eights?
And then they had the rental cars later. Yeah, you are.
Remember the late night? The late night would have the phone sex ones.
Oh yeah, the ladies would come
you're
on
not
like
gonna know what that is. Yeah, cool. One.
I'm like, people do phone sex anymore? Can you even?
They still do. They still
No way.
Yeah,
There's no way.
I was up late
Yeah, I
night
saw something
watching
too.
one channel cable and they had one of those commercials. I was like, no shit, they still do this.
Talk live.
Gotta be some 70, 80-year-olds out there
Party
still.
talk.
You know.
Some old lady like, hey man, you want to lick your toes?
And the original Pornhub used to come on at night. Girls Gone Wild.
Oh yeah,
Girls Gone Wild.
gosh, that was
the original porn. Look at this guy.
You guys taking me back.
Girls Gone Wild was a different. That was a different thing.
Remember that guy?
Oh,
he got into a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
He died.
Did he really?
Or got AIDS. I think he one or two
Or got
things.
murdered.
He got
Syphilis.
sued by so
definitely
many
got something.
different things.
He's probably
He
living in
definitely got
Miami.
No,
Yeah.
he definitely died. He definitely died.
Hey, bro,
Yo,
I got-
dude.
That was Theo Esmond's landlord.
Really?
Who's the
The dude that died in jail with all the young girls that he had down in Florida.
No, you talking about
Jeffrey Epstein. Theo
Yeah.
Epstein was
Yeah.
the GM of the Boston
Jeffrey
Red
Epstein,
Sox.
yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I was like Theo.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like,
We all, okay, Donahue.
I said it. I said
Hey.
Collins. That's I apologize. That was me. What were you gonna say, Joe?
I
You
don't
said
know.
something
I had a
to me.
question for you, bro, but
Okay.
I forgot.
All right. Keep doing
Ah.
a great job tonight.
Yeah. No, I'm on point.
It was gonna be a good one.
It was gonna be
Fucking
a good one. It
killer,
was
bro.
really good.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Serpentine on Netflix?
No.
I want to
What's
see
it about?
that. It looks good.
What's it
Was
about?
Good?
It's I enjoyed
Premise?
it.
Maybe I saw a preview?
miniseries. It's about this guy who was basically kidnapping hippies back in the 70s while they were traveling from like
Based on true story?
based on a true story. He was a French gem dealer, and he was kidnapping these hippie kids that I guess back in the 70s it was a thing to make a trek from India to South Asia. I forget what they call that. And he was, stealing their kidnapping them, stealing their IDs, and he was changing his ID, and he was doing all these crimes and stuff, and he was getting away with it for years until this guy that worked in the Dutch embassy started investigating.
Oh,
two missing
I
kids.
know about
It's
the
really,
story.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's crazy.
It's
Wow,
based
check it
on
out.
true story. Some of the
Yeah,
names
I
and
know
stuff
the
are
story.
changed, but yeah, it's new. It's new on Netflix, and it just had me wondering because you travel a lot, and I was just wondering like, what are like some of the sketchiest things you've seen in traveling where you felt like, all right, I probably shouldn't be here, or if has that ever happened?
I fortunately have never been,
You
put
stayed
myself
in a
that-
hostel before, right?
Yeah, but I had like 5, I was with people, so it wasn't like
Gotcha.
you don't have to really
That
fear
movie
shit.
Hostel, that always.
Yeah, that one,
Yeah,
that
man.
one,
because that
that one
so
stopped
close and very
tourism.
accurate.
American
Yeah.
tourism was cut down a lot during that
Yeah,
time that
that's
hospital was
crazy.
built. But for women, I feel the most though, because I remember
Yeah.
when we went to Brazil, there was 2 ladies we met from the States, and they were like, "Yo," they were held at knife point, and they ran from this dude trying to like steal all their shit, and I was like, "That's crazy." And then when you go to the Jesus statue in Brazil, they tell you you want to go up before dusk, and they're like, "Why?" Because they'll these guys just ambush your car at night. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, bro. And that was like everyone knew that. Like, you don't want to fucking go see the statue. You want to go right before, early in the day, get it out of the way. But you go late night because it's a long ass fucking hill. You're just going down.
Mhm.
And they were like, yeah, don't be that guy because they will grab you up and the cab driver ain't gonna do shit. And you guys, they're just gonna rob you and take all your shit. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
The cab driver's part of it.
Probably in it, yeah, 100%, 100%.
And
And
I
so
know,
for me, yeah, just traveling, that was probably Brazil was probably the most craziest situation where, yeah, I felt like you didn't know because my idea of Brazil was City of God, right? And so if you've seen City of God, it's like the Pueblos up in the mountains, and like they live in the fucking just batshit poor shit of shits.
Right.
And it's like that's what I did. When you went, and when you go to Brazil, it reminds you of Jamaica. Like if everybody's in Jamaica, you drive in, and then the where you land of Jamaica is fucking a shit show. Kids coming up to the car, poor kids, and then you go to actually the resort. The series like, oh, this is great. Like Chris Rock joking about it. I was like, oh, I just forgot a kid was dying in the corner.
Yeah.
This pineapple drink is amazing.
No, seriously, like,
but that's how it is in certain these countries. You're like, oh shit, you drive through this shit of shit, and you're like, holy God, can we do something about this? And then you get to the resort, like, this ain't so bad.
yeah. No, that seriously, when we went to Costa Rica, and that was probably one of the only times I was like a little kind of nervous, because like you said, it's where we stayed was in the middle of fucking nowhere, and you're driving and you're just seeing these little poor shanty towns, and you're like, what the fuck? Then you pull up to this, it's essentially a compound because there was 2 or 3 resorts on there. Like Michael Jordan has a house somewhere in there because of the golf courses and shit. And then you see guys with fucking, machine guns and guards and shit. You're like, what the fucking
what is
it
get
necessary?
Into? Yeah, what does it get into?
But then, like you said, then you get onto the resort and they give you a fucking drink and
you're like, all right, this is great.
Ooh, lobster rolls. And then
It's funny that there's a good one. It was on Netflix. I don't know if it's on, but it's about McAfee, the guy, the computer security guy. You ever see McAfee software?
That everyone had on the computer back in the 90s.
So he, I forget what it was called, but he was down in Belize, and he was like the king of Belize, and it's all about Belize and how, it's crazy. If you get to watch it because it's fucking crazy. But our friend Sean, one of the Woken, he's always trying to get us down to get us go down to Belize, and I always think about that. I'm like, and then he tells the story. He's like, yeah, well, the last time he went, like he literally like drove through Mexico with his cousin, and they had an AK-47 on the. I was like, okay, you want us to come with you? No, you're good. When you get down, you're good. You're with me. I'm like.
I just picture him getting out of the car. I'm home.
Yeah, my wife wants to go to Colombia because she's from Colombia, and
I'm in. Let me know. I'm in.
Was Claudia born there?
No, but she's first generation American. Yeah,
gotcha.
First generation. Yeah.
Listen, let me know. I'm in. I want to go.
She says all the stories about like where her family lives, and she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna go." I'm not going there. What?
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
She was like, "No, we'll stay at the resort. We'll just go visit." I was like, "No, you can go visit. I'll stay at the resort. How about we let them come visit us at the resort? I think they want to.
There you go.
Yeah.
Shout out to my brother. My brother did that. His wife is Jamaican, and they went to Jamaica. And I'm like, oh, he's like, nah, I went to the hood to see her family, and I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah. And he was good and all that, because he's family. But I was still like, I think he was pissed that he didn't get to do the resort thing.
Yeah. But I think coming from New York, you always have a certain respect for any hood that you're in, because you know what can happen in the hood.
Yeah, in your mind is like
leery, right?
All right.
I'm on vacation, but still, I gotta, I know what to look for the most part.
Yeah. I get the one black nod every now and then. I'm like, oh, all right, brother. It's like, or you get I've never gotten this, and I'm afraid when I hope I never have that, but like I see the one brother's like, no.
Get out.
Like, no.
You know what's funny? How even in America, like every major city or tourist town that you go to, they have that one. Like New York, you have Times Square that's geared toward tourists. But we as New Yorkers know, because then you have the people there that are targeting tourists, like selling their rap CD. Bro, there's nothing on that CD. And Vegas, when you go to the Vegas Strip, they're running the exact same scams and all that. And I've had that where I'm walking and they're like, "Yo, my man, check out my CD, man." I'm like, "Bro, come on,
get out of here."
What are you talking about, blah, blah? They're like, "Oh, you're from New York, ain't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
No,
Yeah,
but honestly, I'd rather that than you go to the Eiffel Tower. You got to worry about the fucking gypsies that
The
fucking
kid.
try
Fucking
to
little kid
rob
come
you,
run up
bro.
on you.
Bro, fucking
I'll
rob
smack a
you.
kid.
Mhm.
Man.
They said, yeah, that's another
Yeah.
thing. I was like, I remember I've been to Paris like 4 times, and I was like, you know, and you go to Eiffel. I've never been to the top. I've always I've been to every level but the top. it is a bitch because the lines are just crazy after like, you know.
that
So
doesn't
anyway,
sound
I'm
fun.
like chilling, and they come to you like, yo, be careful where you have your wallet and everything, because gypsies fucking come up. They're like, really? And then you could sit back and just watch fucking kids work. And it's just like, it blows your mind. Like, holy the hustle. And they do, oh yeah, how you doing? How you doing? It's kind of like I guess in India, they distract you, and the monkeys like fucking climb down.
That's
big as shit.
crazy.
And it's just like certain countries that just everybody has their thing, their hustle. And I'm like,
everybody's got a
go.
hustle.
Yeah, I was watching this travel vlogger who was in Egypt, and he had these guys that were like harassing him for a camel ride, and this one dude really just followed him everywhere he walked because he went to give him a tour on the camel ride, and he's like, "Nah, I'm good." And he finally went to find some other guy, but he was literally following him everywhere. And then he was telling these people, "Hey, where are you guys from? Hey, you know what? How much are you charging them?" Like causing trouble with the guys, like telling them, like, you know, you don't have to pay that much. It's this much. So they started getting mad. They're like, "Hey, why don't you mind your business?" I'm like, he's pretty ballsy to be calling these guys out, you know, especially he was like this, you know, I don't know where he was from. He had an accent, but it sounded maybe like French or something like that. But blonde hair, blue eyes, like you're definitely not a local. And he was, you know, fucking with, but I'm like, man, you know, that kind of sucks though, because it can kind of fuck up your experience a little. Like if I went to Egypt, I'm looking at the pyramids and I have somebody annoying me about a ride, and it's like, come on, bro, like leave me the fuck alone. You know, that's when the New Yorker comes out of you where you're just like, I'm good. It's like, you know,
that's it. Leave me alone.
Yo,
bro, come on, bro,
York,
come on, bro.
When you go New York on somebody, you know, it helps. You know, that was the same thing like in Vegas when I did that, or Hollywood Boulevard. Same thing. You got fucking Spider-Man coming, trying to force a picture on you, and you're like, "Yo, get the fuck out of here! Like, what you doing?"
He giving that elbow.
You gotta walk the bottom of La Brea. You gotta take the like whatever star you want. You gotta know which block to go to, but otherwise, you stay off Hollywood. Yeah, you stay off.
Yeah.
When are we doing that trip again?
Yeah, we gotta do like a real trip. Yeah, every time
I'm out in Hollywood, May 7th. I'm staying at the Roosevelt Hotel.
Oh, that's not.
That's where we stayed. I love
Roosevelt.
It. Good times.
That was really good times.
Good times.
Great
They're
hotel.
going crazy with the pool situation right now.
What do you mean?
They're because of COVID, you can only bring one guest. So I was like gonna have a bunch of my friends come over, and then now all the places, hotels with pools, that charge like a day fee. It's like $45, but then it jumped to $90.
Wow.
And I'm like, it's Mother's Day weekend. I'm like, what
a
mom's going in hard at the pool? Like,
they're just trying to single it out. People going crazy. I was just looking at some internet posts, and it was like somewhere random, and I'm talking, it was like wall people, and it was like, and as soon as they saw the camera, like girls start twerking and all that, like everybody had all the pent up energy, and I'm like, damn,
it's gonna be it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
It is.
Get your vaccines if you can do it.
That's
people.
Get
your shots.
Yeah.
You been vaccinated? That's gonna be that. Sorry, get back to the original. That's the pickup line. You've been vaccinated.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah,
there you go, girl.
Moderna, Pfizer.
You got that J&J. You got that J&J.
Nice one and done.
You know what I'm saying?
That would have been my response. No, I got the one me and you're gonna do tonight. One and done.
Oh, well, look at Charlie. Oh, wow. Charlie is feisty with the J&J. There you go, Joe. There you are, buddy. Welcome back to the party. Welcome to the party, boys.
My shot wore off.
Yeah, but a lot of prices are about to start jacking up now that things are starting to get back open.
Yeah,
because we're going to Puerto Rico in the last week of July, and when we were looking at the Airbnbs and like,
you should have booked it then, bro.
I should have booked it
then. Yeah.
Oh my god!
You should have booked it. You could have got it for nothing.
I know. I did it. Done it. Yeah.
Yep. So
it's crazy.
We took the bite, but it's paid for in full. We're going the last week of July because I told you my son's graduating high school, and I have my niece. They're 2 weeks apart. She's graduating high school.
Nice.
And my sister has 3 kids, and I have 3 kids. So all 10 of us are just going to spend a week in Puerto Rico for their graduation present.
That sounds like fun.
Well, I mean, I think this pandemic has put that in perspective. Being locked up and having certain things taken from you or you're unable to do, makes you appreciate the other things. And people are saying like, "Damn, I wish I traveled more," or "Damn, I wish I did this." And so, yeah, now that hopefully as we come to an end or whatever, we start to traveling is a big thing. Getting out, see when you're stuck in that same place over and over. And, and what's crazy is there's people who their whole lives like they never go anywhere. No. They're like that's all they know. Even those people are like, oh, shit. Okay, now that I've been confined to my house and this, like, I want to go out and see the world and appreciate other things. So,
but we're wearing this mask until next election.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man. And it sucks because politics was involved with the mask.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for that, then I'd say, hey, there's a silver lining. But because politics were backed on that, it's just, it's. I think it's gonna be a shit show.
It's crazy. That's a good point that you make about the politics. Did you guys see what Charles Barkley said the other day?
Oh, brilliant!
And
it was
absolutely
he hit
correct.
it on the exactly. He hit it right on that. Basically, he said, politicians. He's like, I forget how he said. I don't want to mess it up. But
it's like whether you're black or white. Is it whether you're black?
They
or
like
white.
each other.
I truly believe there's good black people. I truly believe there's good white people. But there's these politicians, regardless if you're Republican or Democrat, they pit us against each other all the time. People that have the same interests. And then when they pit us against each other, it's only for them. It's only for them to still live in these high-end places, to still have this lifestyle that they live. They don't understand. If we just came together, this shit would be fun. That's it. They couldn't do anything.
I think the line he said the best was, they scramble the middle class. Right?
Yeah.
The definition of that is that they're taking one class, which is the majority of the United States, and they're scrambling it. They're doing what they want to do with it.
Against each other and doing all that. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Joe, you can watch.
I was shocked CBS let him do it. I was
because this was on his.
I was like, they're about to cut the whole.
Why Charles Barkley was fun.
And I was like, as I'm watching, I'm like standing up, clapping. I'm like, yes. I was like, that's right. I'm like, and we say it all the time. We say it here, like, we can always come together and find that middle ground and agree on stuff. He's like, most people can do that. Most people are either slightly right, slightly left. That's like, it's the politicians and the companies that draw you to that far side and pit us against each other and make you want to fight. And then, it's crazy. You gotta.
Once again, you said it right there. You find the middle. The middle is the common interest, and they're scrambling the middle. Like that's crazy when you think about that. Like the common is not even together.
Yeah. So
good shit.
Yeah, like Bro said, hug your children, hug each other. Let's appreciate each other as people. Enjoy our time.
I mean, we lost a lot of good people this year, man. I mean,
right.
A lot of our childhood has been lost this past 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's just like, one thing I've learned from my personal self is like, I'm not going to take the time I have with people for granted. So when I do get a chance, if I'm going to travel, I want to visit friends, catch up with them. Joe, I owe you a visit out in San Francisco again, just do that. And I was talking to J-Ho and just trying to reach out. And that's what I'm about, man. Like, oh, we going to party? I'm like, no, just catch up with friends, hang out, have fun.
Guys,
and that's it.
Things are going to be moving again.
That's why I want to do this Vegas trip in October. Wife's birthday, I celebrate the anniversaries, Rose's birthday. I'd love to get everybody together so we can, this is great. The virtual platform and Zoom, and that's one thing that this pandemic has shown us. You're reaching out to people that maybe you don't normally speak to. Joe, Charlie, we spoke more than we've ever have because of this pandemic.
Yeah.
But now, let's see each other in person and tell each other in person that I appreciate you, that I love you, and
I love you.
I love you. Fuck it up.
I like you guys a lot. I like you a lot.
Like you a lot.
I saw this meme and it was funny, but it actually had a lot of truth to it. And it was like I see why they had the Roaring Twenties after that pandemic in 1918. Because people just wanted to
I
get
forgot.
the fuck out.
Wow, I didn't put those two and two together that happened right after the
Right after
20s, they
the
had some
pandemic.
memes
Is that
like
what we're gonna have right now?
I think so. I think
they're
it's gonna
calling it
be.
the
I
Roaring
didn't even
20s.
put
They're
those two
calling
and two
it the
together.
Roaring 20s because
Wow.
of
Oh,
It is
shit,
the
we're in
20s, though, right?
20s.
We're in the
It's
20s.
the
Yeah. I was saying that the other day. I was like, shit, like 10 years, 30
Wow.
years from now, they're going to be like back in the 20s when we had the fucking pandemic. Like, it's
That is
crazy to think
Damn, do
about.
y'all remember 2021 when everyone was just fucking anything, and then we had the baby boom with 2022?
You got five kids, man. What happened?
We're right at the. I think we're right at the cusp of another like creative renaissance. It's going to be different. And
Kanye's gonna drop some fire.
Oh,
And
Kanye's
hope
gonna
so.
have some shit
I hope
coming.
so.
Bro,
He's got a divorce. Oh, he's got some
it's
coming
gonna
for
be.
us.
It's in the summer's coming.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is a single for the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
You're gonna have like
You want-
another.
You want to know who else had a really good that I was seeing meme wise, or really not a meme, but just I saw his speech was Denzel Washington when he spoke to the college and he asked them the question. He goes, "Have you ever seen a U-Haul behind a hearse?" And when he said that,
Can't
I
take
was
that
like,
shit with you, play.
See, I was like, yo, and I
Can't
listened to
take
the
that
whole
shit with
speech.
you.
I was like, that
Yeah.
makes a lot. He says, I can have all the money in the world, everything. But when I die, you're not going to see a U-Haul behind me with everything that I have.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
I love when rich people say
Actually,
that.
I'm gonna change that.
I'm tired of hearing rich people telling me that bullshit.
I'm gonna change that shit.
Trust me, brother.
Hold
on. Let me drink my wine for a second. My Dom P one more time.
I'm not saying he's living by that motto, but
No,
it's
no,
a
I
good
know.
motto.
But it's a great
that's
point, and it's true. But I just always find.
But you know what?
They say
What's
that.
to stop you? I'm bringing that U-Haul with me. Like, yo, whatever I amass,
Well, the
bring it
Egyptians
and
did. The
bury
Egyptians
it.
did.
They
They
did.
brought everything
Yep.
right.
Right,
They did.
right.
Yo,
Bury me
no
with that
joke.
shit.
You guys could go see it. It's in Jersey. As soon as you go over the Goethals Bridge, you know how they have those two cemeteries right there? As soon as you go over the Goethals Bridge on Route 19, they have those two big cemeteries. Well, my grandfather was buried on the one on the right-hand side once you get over. 2 or 3 tombstones down from my grandfather is a Cadillac. 2 Cadillac cemented.
No
My
shit.
man got buried.
Get the
in his
fuck out of here.
I swear
Get
to
the
God.
fuck out of here.
I swear.
We
to
gotta do a
God.
show from there, can we?
Right.
He got
just fucking put some pictures up
From the
That's
Cadillac.
crazy.
Yo, it was his tombstone was his Cadillac.
Hey guys.
So I'm guessing he took it with him.
All right, guys, we're inside the Cadillac. We're gonna do this.
Smells a
Yeah,
lot
but how
worse than
about
I was
the fucking,
expecting.
How about Puerto Rico? Like Puerto Rico was known for, and you guys been there, for some of their burial techniques. The guy with the motorcycle, like they don't have guys propped up in poses and stuff for their wake and different things, doing something that they love. And then you go to the wake, and that's you know what I mean. That's kind of crazy.
Creepy. That's a little creepy.
Yeah, Puerto Ricans are crazy. Yeah, we didn't like for my grandfather's funeral. They didn't go that far, but they had the guitar right next to him because he played guitar. And they just put it on top of the I was like, you guys are bugging out right now.
Yeah, I've seen that the motorcycle one, the Domino's one. The guy
the
playing
dude at the domino table.
Yeah,
I saw that one.
Yeah, they have a lot of interesting I don't know things. Like I remember customs. Yeah, when I was like the first time I met one of my aunts in Puerto Rico, and I went and stayed with her while we were out there because she had all my cousins, and it was just a bunch of boys and stuff, so we could just chill, and it was a good time. And she was showing me a photo album, and I'm like looking, and she's like, "Oh, that's him when he was little." And I'm like, "Oh, and this is this person. That's your cousin." And just, you know, a lot of my family I've never seen before. And I flip, and then there's somebody in a casket. I'm like, "Oh," and it was like one of my cousins. "Oh, that's your." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And they're like, "Oh, this is us at the beach. Like, you guys want to like sort this a little better?" Like, I'm thinking in my head, like, because this shit, I was not expecting that, and I was like 13 or 14. You know what I mean? Like, I hadn't seen a lot of dead bodies by that point in my life, so I was like, "Oh shit." Welcome back, bro. Y'all want to see something?
Dead body. Whoa.
Body.
Whoa. All right. Huh.
Yeah, have you ever, like, I already told my wife, I was like, I want to be cremated. I don't want a funeral.
Really?
I don't. And
what if they can bring you back to life? What if they can bring you back to life?
I want to be cremated. My life is done, and that's it. I want to be cremated.
Yeah.
And I said, there's only one request that I have. I said, you got to take a little bit of my ashes and dump it at City Field. That's the only request I have.
Really?
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
For me, especially after, you know, last year and everything we went through, and having to actually deal with it on a level that I haven't had to deal with death before, as far as like, you know, all the arrangements. I want whatever is easy for my family. Like whatever's cheapest, whatever's easiest, the least stressful. I'm not picky. You know, just if it's easy to cremate me, if it's easy to bury me, whatever. I don't want to make it hard because I'm not going to be here. So, you know, I'm good. Hopefully, wherever I'm at, you guys don't have to, you know, deal with all the stress. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's so man. It's a stressful situation. It's a lot of stuff going on.
It's very stressful.
You know, so yeah, whatever's easy for my family.
I'm an organ donor, so if you can do that, sign your card. I believe in that. If I can,
I'm sorry for whoever
save
gets
somebody
your
else. I'm not saying they're gonna take it.
All right.
That's another topic. Like, I think that's the biggest mystery. Like, what happens when you die? And there's so many things out there that people have a different belief. I think the best one that I heard is when you die, and a baby is born, that's you coming back out. Your lights are closing, and then the light at the end of the tunnel is you coming out the womb. And the reason the baby is crying when the baby comes out is because they gotta do it all over again.
I was just about to say, I've thought, like, this is shit that keeps me up at night. I've thought of reincarnation before, just the thought of that, and I'm like, that sounds so exhausting.
Like hell. That's what I would think. Is hell.
Like,
that's why they're crying. They're like, no, I've been to hell. Fuck, I gotta do it again. I gotta get a job. Have you
or maybe they came out of a narrow hole and they're like, what the fuck? Job. And there's a light.
Have you seen
I've lived in the dark for 9 months.
Check this out.
And now there's a light.
Check this out. There is this there are these cases, and you can check it out online, where these kids, they'll have like young kids under 5 years old, and they'll talk about something that they did in another life, like in 1863. Like they'll have these memories of, I was a coal miner, blah blah, something that they have no business saying, and then they'll say it like vividly and describe it to a T, and so that's one of the reasons they talk about that as a belief. But there are these cases where people bring up, these other lives that they have no business knowing, and they're kids, and they can describe things like perfectly.
Yeah, I've had this conversation with my wife before, because I was like, you're probably gonna think I'm crazy. I was like, but I have like instances where I have dreams and memories that I'm like feel like a memory, or like another life. That's the best way I could describe it. Like I've had dreams that didn't feel like a dream. It just felt more like a memory. And it always freaks. It doesn't happen often, but when it happens, it freaks me out, because I'm like, what the fuck is that? Or I'll be somewhere and I'll smell something, you know what I mean? Or I'll see something, I get like a flash of something, but I didn't experience before. But I'm like, what? That's weird, that I don't know. Well, I hope I don't have any past lives.
But I like to think of it that way, rather, instead of the heaven or the hell, because that's too vague, right? Like, and a lot of people, they like to use that scare tactic. Oh, you're gonna go to hell, this, that, and the third, or especially the religion. And my big thing about, if we're going off topic a little bit, I apologize, but
No.
my big thing about that is that you need to tell me that I'm going to hell because I did this sin or I did this sin, and I'm gonna live the same afterlife as a Ted Bundy. Like, how does that regulate? Are there different levels to hell? Like,
well, that's where Dante,
according to Dante, there is, yeah.
That's where it comes from. There are different, I don't know, and there's religions and there's the belief in limbo and all that, where it's very broad. So,
Yeah,
me personally, I believe to actually go to that hell or whatever, you have to want to. There's a commitment that you make, and you're like, you made that choice. But everyone else, most people have that middle ground. Again, we go back to the middle. Like, if you didn't do it completely right, either you get another chance or you're stuck in the in-between. Or
limbo sounds like hell to me. I don't know. That's why I think it's all perspective. Because if I was like stuck in some in-between world, that shit sounds like fucking depressing.
Yeah, but you don't know what that, when I say in
True.
between, you don't know what that is. You could be doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of a joke. You ever hear the joke? This guy dies and goes down to hell. And he gets there and the devil's like, all right, you got to pick a room. You got to stay here. This is where you're going to stay for eternity. And he's like, fuck. So he goes to the first room and there's a guy. He opens the door and there's a guy fucking buried up to his neck and shit. And he's like, He's like, all right, well, let me see the next room. So he takes him to the second room. The guy's up to his waist and shit. And he's like, all right, let me see the third room. Third room. And he opens the door and it's the guy up to like his fucking calves and shit. And he's like, all right, I want this room. And the devil's like, okay, sure. He's like, yeah, I want this room. He's like, okay. So he goes into that room and then gets in there and they're like, all right, coffee breaks over, back on your heads. Buried and shit on your heads. There's another dad joke for you, Charlie.
Yeah.
You can use
That's
that
a
one.
good one.
That's a good dad one. That's a classic.
That's a good one.
Dad joke.
And that's a good dad joke, ladies and gentlemen. That should have been a clap for that one. Joe.
I mean,
oh god.
You get everything.
The horn too. So I'm gonna cover two things here that I was allowed to comment on. So at my funeral, if either one of those people are still alive, I'm gonna have Billy Ocean or Boyz II Men perform my funeral. I'm gonna have a great fucking show, people.
Voice the Ocean.
Not for nothing, real quick. And damn, because my wife went off on you with the whole Boyz II Men thing. Because I had told her about the albums. And Charlie, thank you for backing me up with the 112. But she was like, Boyz II Men. She was like, that was the breakup albums. Those were the albums that you went through with breakups. So she's like, what was Ro going through?
That's what I said.
Says a lot.
That's exactly what I
Says a lot.
said.
There's a lot of breakup songs.
No.
They got a whole song where they like, you cheated on me, but I'm gonna take you back, baby.
Exactly. Listen. It's a different mental play. It was college.
I was singing End of the Road.
Yes.
Ro was on the beach with a silk shirt and his nipples.
Oh, bro, that's what I want our video to be. One of our videos has to be.
Yeah, definitely.
All in linen. All in linen.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing I love about our generation is things like that. Everyone collectively clowned his nipples in that video. It was like when you saw each other the next day, bro.
You should like, yo. You really have to let the nipple out and play it. What?
Yeah.
How many albums you sell? Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
He
shout out to self-confidence.
Self-confidence goes a long way.
Stop pointing fingers. The blame is on me. I wanna know.
That's why the shout out to Charlie. That's one thing Charlie always had. Self-confidence. When we go out and me or Joe were like timid in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I was joking, but Charlie.
You guys are the worst two people to go out with.
Oh, we are. We warn you.
Like I know what I'm gonna do, and you guys are like, oh, so you want to get another drink?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like,
nah.
We're gonna go.
Floor is saying, let's go. Charlie, he knows. The floor is saying, let's go.
That's why we kept you guys around. That's exact. I mean, I say it all the time. I was an introvert. Joe's like bored. Like Joe's not an introvert, but when he gets a little loose,
I'm a Cancer. I pick and choose.
Yeah.
I have my times where I want to be, outward and have fun, and I have my times where I just want to be like left alone or chill. And then there's times, most times, I'm just like, I'm enjoying watching. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. That's me. The Gemini me. But that's why when you pick your friends and you gravitate towards certain people, I believe people should complete those empty parts of you, and that's why you guys here. That's why I have a Charlie and I have a Ro. You guys do those things that I couldn't fucking possibly do, and I need you.
Jerry Maguire over here.
Thank you.
You complete me.
Who's coming with me?
Drink a whole wild wine.
Who's coming with me? I got the goldfish. Who's coming with me?
So happy she went with him. That would have sucked.
Do you know? So my first week in LA, I moved out there to be an actor, and there's 2 movies I rented, and one of them was Jerry Maguire. What was the other one? Fuck, I can't think. But one of them
was Bernie's.
Yeah. There you go. And I use it because you have to have like a dialogue thing that you do when you're doing when they're casting, right? So you can do your own dialogue.
Monologue,
thank you.
Monologue.
Fucking that's why I'm not an actor. Exactly. I don't even know the fucking dialogue.
Remember monologue, let alone his
sir, you have a dialogue or a monologue? All right. Thank you, Evan, for explaining that. And it was funny because I was like, oh, going to this, and so I don't remember it, but there's one of my best ones were from Indecent Proposal. There's an amazing scene in Indecent Proposal where Robert Redford's character, he talks about how the one day he saw some girl on a train, and I was like, it's an intense moment with Demi Moore, and he's talking about this. She's like getting to know him before she like has to sleep with him. That's a good question for the pod too, as well, by the way. Indecent Proposal. Maybe not tonight, but a different episode. But
yes.
But he explained.
I don't.
But he explains that, and it's such a good scene. It's such a good scene. So I was like, oh, this is like a deep like scene. That way you could see your acting chops and how you can really depict that situation at that moment. So anyway, needless to say, I'm back here doing a podcast.
My monologue was from E.T. It was the part where
ouch.
Elliot. Yeah, that was it. That's all I did was ouch. And when Elliot when they first discover him, and he's talking to him and he's offering Reese's Pieces. That was my monologue. I don't know what I picked that. And it killed. It went over good. I don't remember it, but
I never had a monologue, but if I was to pick one right now, it'd be the scene from Goodfellas. Joe Pesci. Do I make you clown? Do I use you?
There you go.
I feel like I do that one very well.
That's a tough one though. You gotta come.
Right. That's why that scene is so great.
Because
he fucking creates tension from that, from something that's completely not just
you fuck with me. He's like, and then what's it like? You fuck with me.
Your heart starts racing because you're like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? Like, fuck.
Time out. Wait. I would be Ray Liotta in the background laughing the whole time.
You would.
Yeah, it wasn't until the end when he says, and he's like, "Oh fuck," he's like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Because he literally was like, Ray Liotta was at one point one of the best I'm shocked. He's doing a cop show now, but like, he was one of the best actors. Like, just like sold like his scenes and just like fuck. He's like.
If I had to pick a monologue, it would be Ed Harris in The Rock, the scene where the SEALs come in to
that's a good
and they face off, and he gives that whole speech.
Yeah,
I would go with that. So I actually used that in film class. We had to pick a 13-minute scene.
Really? 13 minutes.
13 minutes. Yeah. It took forever.
Did you have 10 people in the class?
No, we had like 30 people. It was fun. Jesus. It took like 2 weeks. But anyway.
And Curtis?
Yeah. Mr.
Brilliant. The teacher's brilliant. He's like, yeah, we're gonna run through this whole fucking semester.
Yeah. It was great. It was a great class.
It was the dude with the long hair, the teacher.
Scally or some shit. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So you picked this 13-minute scene and whatever you want, and then you just had to describe why you picked it. You had to describe like the cinematography, the acting, like everything about it, why you picked it. So I picked that scene where they breach into the bathroom, they have this big fight, and then like the guy gets shot and he falls back down into the thing, and he's just hanging there. That's where I cut it off. A lot of people in class hadn't seen that movie, and they were like, "Whoa, dude, what happened? Like, we gotta play." Yeah. So he actually let me bring it back when everyone was done, and we got to watch the whole movie in class because everybody was like, "Yeah, I gotta see that. That shit is sick." But that scene, I've always loved that scene. That's part.
So we all should make a demo tape and plug it for the show. And you got a whole month. I'll give everybody till the end of the month to work on it.
Got it.
Work on your demo because Charlie's got like 2 lines, but and Ev has 2 lines. So,
I'll pick something different. I'll do something.
It's up to you. If you want to.
I mean, I don't have to do the whole 13 minutes. I think his actually
no,
like a minute.
I'm gonna go right into one of my many impressions, and I'm gonna do it, in character maybe.
That's even better. So pick your dialogue. Pick who you want to do. 2 minutes, 2-minute dialogue tape.
Ooh, okay.
And we do it on the podcast. Or do we?
Oh, you want to do live on the show?
Let's do it live. Let's do it live.
Okay.
And we promote it.
You gotta be quiet though. You can't.
And we promote it like
No, because I already.
We're gonna do live.
So it's like,
I don't know if you saw it, but this dude was practicing his breathing while you were talking.
So I might do Tupac and Juice. I'm just saying.
Yo, bro, do Denzel in Training Day.
I thought about that.
You mother.
The best thing to do is go.
You think you can do this to me?
Do something.
God, shut up.
And this is why. That's why.
Up there in Pelican Bay,
This is why I did the ET thing, because in my acting class, like everybody was doing. So they gave us like a selection, or they said you can find someone. Everyone picked. There's a monologue from the boiler room. Where I think Vin Diesel just goes off and talks
on the phone. The phone call.
Yeah.
He takes over the phone.
So everybody.
That's a good one.
It's a good one, and everybody does it. So
at that time, that was hot.
I have a question because I don't know anything about acting or auditions. So a monologue, are you just doing one person, or are you doing
both? One person. You do.
Okay.
You just do that one part. So you want to take maybe where it's a long. Okay. Where it's just that character going through a long thing.
Part. Okay.
There's no. So it's not a dialogue. So
tough.
When you're just coming on the scene though, and that's the thing, you have to decide if you want something meaty, right? That really shows your range.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But again, if you're picking an iconic scene, right? You're going up against an iconic scene.
Yeah.
Right. You can either do it exactly how they did it, which or you're gonna do your own, and what you're gonna bring to it.
Okay. Which sidebar? Sorry, sidebar. Quick second, Charlie. We're going. Sidebar. I just found this out. I was watching something on something I read, and the movie Big with Tom Hanks and his love interest. The original person, do you know who they originally cast to play Tom Hanks' character in Big? Robert De Niro.
Really?
Oh yeah. You know what? Yes, it was like written for Robert De Niro.
She said it would have been a totally different movie. It would have been like a dark film. And she's like, Tom Hanks brought so much energy and laughter in the movie that, like, oh my God, it's like, but he was doing another movie at the time. They couldn't get him to come in and do this, whatever. And so Tom Hanks was actually wind up getting the movie. But I was
That's
like,
nuts.
Are you kidding me? Picturing Big would and again, Robert De Niro is a great fucking actor, but like I couldn't see with anybody else, right? It's just like one of those things. And I was like, it blew my mind. So going to the point of that, when you're reading. That was good, John. That was good.
Oh, man.
Although you still look at Al Pacino, but it's all right.
Whoa. Fuck everybody. Man.
Oh man,
That's great.
So that's gonna be my monologue. I'm gonna do whatever I do. It's gonna be. I'm gonna say something like, this is Elsa from Frozen at the end when she played by Al Pacino.
Yeah, there you go.
Man.
Do you want to build a do you
want to build a snowman?
I give you another thing. These iconic scenes with.
I could do this.
If someone else got if someone else got the scene,
I could do Mickey Mouse doing Denzel's character.
There you go.
Oh, you motherfucker!
Oh man,
that's good. That's good. All right, we kind of made up for the other show.
Yeah, we did.
Talking about nothing that we planned on, but
we're full of content.
2 shows tonight. We got one. Sorry, but
so we gotta do a show talking about Staten Island. We gotta do.
So
prep that.
That's why I really wanted to be on here, because talking about Staten Island.
You like when you guys are gonna say,
yeah.
Charlie, you want to try your best.
Charlie,
Charlie, that's your best.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. Charlie would be energized and fully vaccinated.
Charlie.
And a surprise interview I made. It's coming up. There's something in the works for everybody. I can't really get into that yet, but things are happening. So I want to put this all with the Woken Up Woke. So I'll let you guys know next week.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
So we want to talk about Staten Island and give our unique takes and perspectives, the love-hate relationship with Staten Island that only Staten Islanders can have. So
were you guys all born in Staten Island?
I was born in Manhattan, but I came here when I was 4 going on 5.
Joe?
I was born in Manhattan, lived in the Bronx though, and then came to Staten Island when I was 10.
Charlie?
I was born in Coney Island and came to Staten Island when I was 1.
Wow. I was born in Long Island.
So I don't think anyone's born in Staten Island.
Yeah, very few. My nephews and nieces, they're
my sisters.
Sean was I think born in
my cousin Jack is actually, I think he was born in Staten Island. No, he's at another hospital. Sorry, he wasn't born in Staten Island.
Shout out to Yelly.
Staten Island hospitals suck, by the way. That's why no one gets born.
St. Vincent.
Well, that's why I was born in Manhattan, because the Bronx hospitals weren't any better.
Wait, what was the other Bailey Seaton? Barely breathing.
But they didn't have they didn't have a nursery there, so they wouldn't. They had the insane asylum and all that.
They had stuff. All those children.
That's what they do. They do Batman, right?
Yeah. Gotham was filmed there.
Gotham was, that was Arkham Asylum, which was perfect.
It was.
What do you guys have? Well, we do a show here. Gotham. Asylum.
Arkham Asylum.
This makes sense. Makes sense.
This one room is the hospital. Everything else is a studio.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Exactly.
Yeah, but shout out to my sister Yelly Bear. She's been on the show. She'll be on the show. From her on down to all my siblings after her were all born St. Vincent's on Staten Island.
Wow. Is St. Vincent's still around?
It's now Richmond University Medical Center.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because they got so many bad raps.
You know, it's crazy. My kids were born. My kids were born.
Yeah.
I just thought about it. They actually have a very good maternity ward.
They do.
Yeah, the maternity ward's good, but everything else, if you go in there for fucking a cut, you're gonna die.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
Yep, that's where my nephew.
I've walked out of that ER, literally, fucking gone there and walked out. And was like, you know what? I'll fucking sleep it off.
Yeah. My oldest son was born in Staten Island University on Highland Boulevard, right there.
Nice.
And then my Jacob was born in St. Vincent. And then my youngest was born out here in Florida.
Okay.
Florida hospital's good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That was okay. Yeah. That was the best year I ever had. They know what they're doing.
Night and day. When you get out of New York and you go to certain places, you're like, what? Really?
Yeah. They have a children's hospital down here. It's called Woken. Yeah. Oh my God. I wish they could treat me. Yeah. I mean,
serious.
The children's hospital down here is so good. I mean, yeah, it's very good.
I went to a rehab physical therapy, I should say, not rehab
Yeah,
facility. That was like,
all right. That's
man,
what we're doing.
it was impressive. Like, it wasn't for me, but I was like, wow, this is like something out of a movie. It was like the receptionist there, like, they were so nice to me. I was like, oh man, I just want to break something just so I could come here. Like, like, ooh, you know what? I hurt myself coming up the steps. You guys can help me.
Yeah, that's
No,
the thing.
really,
New York hospitals, you know, you're lit. Whatever happens to you, you get shot, you get fucking stabbed, whatever. You're inconveniencing somebody else.
Yeah, walk it off.
Like the doctor's like, really? Oh, fuck, really? All right, now I gotta treat you because you went out and got fucking shot. Okay.
Yeah. Dude, that video of a what do you call it? Protester, some shit climbing a wall. And I'm assuming in Manhattan.
That's all
and
the
he
times
falls
for,
and he just starts
Climbed
leaking.
the New York Times.
Yeah.
Well, it
New
was
York
also
Times building.
he had spray paint in his backpack, so the spray paint fucking leaked out.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah, it was a black. It was.
I thought he was bleeding.
He broke the can.
No, he broke the can, but he hit his back. Like he was like, oh,
he definitely
like,
knocked his hip out.
And the guy, the security or whatever, comes over like, what was he doing? She's like, he was climbing something. What was he climbing? Not,
so
are you okay?
It was so New York though.
Yeah.
It was so New York. And the guy was
that
like,
moment right there made me miss home. Like those moments.
Because you know what's funny?
I miss that
you
so
know
much.
that guy wasn't from New York because the girl that was with him wasn't from New York.
Yeah.
So everybody
no
else
New
was
Yorkers climbing that shit.
Right.
No,
It's
exactly.
Like, no, like you just
What
know.
the fuck you doing?
You know how
What's he
dirty
doing?
that shit is?
But
Climb what?
he climbed.
It's
So the New York
Times
Times building has like these little poles that you can climb up. And one guy did it when it first opened up, and he climbed all the way to the top.
Acrobat did it.
Yeah, and so and I'm looking, I'm like, oh yeah, this guy doesn't know what I'm looking at just the way he's scaling. I'm like, oh, he has no clue.
Yeah.
And what was his point either? Like how
I think
high
he was
gonna
go up there and then spray paint.
He was right above the
He
landing.
was gonna try to get onto that
Yeah.
I'm not sure
but
what
he
it
couldn't
held him
even
up
do
anyway.
that. He wasn't even so.
He was
the way he was
struggling,
even,
right?
And he
I was
fell?
like,
He fell, probably got a good what, 10
He
feet.
gets
But
up
again-
to where he was supposed to go.
yeah, it wasn't like
falls.
death height, but at least
Probably about like
I mean, if he fell on his
15 feet or
head,
something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. It was high
it was
enough
a good like it was
that
a
he
good
didn't
like
get up.
like wake you up like dumbass, like one of those good like, ooh, my hip has just been dislocated from my body.
Yeah, because he kind of
on my
turned when he
shoulder.
fell.
On my
He didn't land
shoulder.
on his feet. It was all
Yeah.
side.
It's like,
It was all side.
and then all I see is ooze of fucking liquid come out. From his
Yeah.
neck.
There's a video of it. I'm gonna have to find it.
Yeah.
I saw it on somewhere.
Guy
on-
tries to climb New York Times building and falls.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that-
I'm
they
gonna
put
find it.
protester climbs near
Protester
Times
climb,
Square.
Yeah.
I'm
and
gonna
then
find it.
one of the ladies, old lady, comes. Oh my God, is he okay? What's going on? Like
Yeah.
the dumbass try to scale some. At that point,
Yeah.
honestly,
Mhm.
it's just like sometimes earlier parts of COVID shit. I was just like, yo, when you put yourself in that situation,
Yeah.
you've already forfeited anything we're doing for you, right?
Right.
When
Yeah.
you go to climb that, it's like, oh, that's on you.
The crazy shit, and I'm
Like, I'm not
thinking
cheating
because
you,
the
that's on
first
you.
one, the funny shit is the first one. So obviously they're protesting against the establishment and all that.
Mhm.
As soon as it happens, the girl that's with him, the big protester and all that,
Yeah.
she's like, "Call him! You gotta call somebody! What the
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
bitch, you're protesting against the very people that you want to call now."
Exactly.
Like,
And
and that's why that security guard's like, "Really,
Yeah.
really?"
Oh, he was great. He
Exactly.
looked great.
yeah, he's like, what was he doing?
Really?
What was he climbing? And the ironic thing is, you didn't bring any attention to your cause. You just went viral for being like nobody even knows what you were climbing it for. They just know you're the guy that fell. So it's like,
No, it reminds me also like the white woman that's like woke, like woken up woke is what we are, but like she was woke. So there was two white girls, I think I want to say down in DC or something like that. And they were just, or Seattle, and they're scrubbing the side of a Capitol building. They're scrubbing it off and like cleaning it. And they were like so the white lady comes up to them and is like, what are you white kid? What are you kids doing? You don't believe in Black Lives Matter? I was like, no, we do believe in that, but it's just defacing the property. So we just want to clean it. It's like, what are you guys doing? And I was like, and I told some of my white friends, I was like, listen, who didn't know better. I was like, there's woke, and then there's like, what the fuck you doing? There's no need to chastise people. Yes, I want a clean building too. When I came back, I traveled, during COVID, and then I came into Manhattan. I saw a fucking City Hall, and I was like, what the fuck? It was like a camp and then spray painted half the buildings. I was like, so if I saw people cleaning that, I would have supported that. If I could, I'll help out. I was like, that it's our city.
Doesn't mean you don't support.
That's
that
what
cause,
I'm saying.
right?
And it blew my mind that this lady didn't get that. Like by leaving on that defacing property, you can do a sign, you make something look like something that needs to be, but to deface a property and say, "Oh, this is okay," no.
And then to leave that forever, so like you're kind of counteracting what you did. So now your ugly graffiti is going to be associated with Black Lives Matter. Do you really want that? You're doing a disservice, and that's kind of why I named this "Woken Up Woke." Because the people who think they are woke, they are not woke. We are the woke. We are the ones talking to it. The ones who are able to find that middle ground and talk
ask
things
questions
out and ask questions and come to solutions. Those are your woke people. So,
Charlie, you okay?
Charlie's not woke right now.
Charlie's
Charlie's sleep.
No, I got a quick visit.
That's what Charlie wants to be right now.
Yeah. He's waiting.
Charlie, you can go to sleep, Charlie. It's okay, Charlie. Just go to sleep.
Ladies and gentlemen, that kid is not woken up woke.
He's like, come on, Dad. Let's hurry this up.
So
he came and got me.
Practicing.
All right, fellas. We actually were able to make an episode out of this.
Saved it.
So thank you.
Thank you, Charlie, for powering through. I know it's crap, but
you should probably delete the last half an hour. You should probably
no.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll carve some of it out.
No, let that. Charlie got the vaccine, got the shot. If you're able to do it, you can do it, and you think it's right for you. Charlie's leading by example. Do it. So you can get back to normal. So
it's so because my siblings were saying, "Oh, we're glad somebody got it. Now we can see what happens."
The guinea pigs.
Gotta be the guinea pig.
They're gonna wait till your birthday. They're at least gonna wait till your birthday. All right, you good? All right, there we go.
Man. All right, fellas. Well, it was
all right, fellas.
And can't wait till next week.
Another one. That's Woken Up Woke. Thank you.
Stay woke.
Listening to the Woken Up Woke